Good evening and welcome to another presentation from the Agency for Public Information, your official source for the latest information on government's plans, programs, and policies. I am Shanna Daniel with this evening's presentation. Coming up, we'll bring you all the action which took place over the weekend at the International Airport site at Argyle as government broke grounds to begin construction on the terminal building. And we speak with two gentlemen from the Caribbean Environmental Health Institute who are in this country to assist in setting up a project to deal with the effective management of chemicals. Stay with us, we'll have the details just after our Newswatch segment. Welcome back. On the 8th of August 2005, Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonsalves announced at the Methodist Church Hall his government's decision to build an international airport at Argyle. This new airport will replace the existing E.T. Joshua Airport and will increase passenger capacity by nearly 4 times, thus bringing increased economic development to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It will also reduce the hassle Vincentians face in trying to make connecting flights. It is for these reasons and more why most Vincentians support the construction of the international airport at Argyle and why they turned up on Sunday to witness another phase of this project, the groundbreaking of the terminal building. The API was there early to speak with people as they turned up to find out what this project means to them.
Well, it's a very good project. It's the most exciting time since I know myself, and I will not have missed this for the world.
I here because I was waiting a long time for this event to happen. And I thank God this evening that I am able to see this event take place.
I live here in St. Vincent. I run a construction company here. So I come to see what was happening, to see the breaking of the ground of the new terminal. So I'm hoping there'll be more work for Vincentians from it.
Yeah. So you're going to be involved?
Not at this stage, no. But hopefully later on when they bring out the rest of the control tower and the fire and rescue sections, maybe there'll be some more work with Vincentians. Yeah.
How important do you see an international airport for this country?
It's critical to the future of this country. Absolutely critical. I strongly believe in it. Yeah.
All right, well, enjoy. Thank you.
I'm very excited about it. I'm really longing for this. I was really longing for this occasion, and now that it has come, I am extremely excited.
Minister Mackey, Minister Borgin, nice to see you gentlemen here this afternoon. Yes. Can you share with us your feeling on the occasion this afternoon?
Well, indeed, it's an exciting moment here at the International Airport at Argyle. We see persons gathering in the numbers now, so I suspect that within the next half an hour we should have a filled arena. You can look and you can see the excitement on the faces of persons who are here already. Excitement because this is another phase of the development of this particular project. And I think this is the phase that persons were looking forward to most of all. Because once the terminal building commences, it means that the airport will be completed. There's no doubt about that. And if you listen to the comments of persons in the country, I think they have moved away now from a position of doubt to a position of, okay, let us look at the cost carefully to ensure that we would not overextend ourselves. But we know that the construction of the terminal, we are getting assistance from Taiwan with that aspect of the project. So I am very, very confident that we will come in to completion of this project within the 28 months that the terminal building itself would take to complete. So once the terminal building is completed, I think we will be just about ready to open the international airport at Argyle.
So personally, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to the construction of the terminal building going very smoothly, and I'm looking forward to the thousands of Vincentians overseas booking their flights in time for the opening of the airport. And I'm sure that a lot of Vincentians at home, they would also be planning their vacation for the next 28 months period, when they can be one of the first sets of persons to fly out of Argyle. So me personally, I will be on one of those very, very early flights out of Argyle.
Well, all the best. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Minister Boggin, how do you feel about the progression?
I always have confidence in what is happening here at Argyle with the international airport. And I feel so elated with the speed at which work is conducted, despite the weather that we have from time to time. Well, you would have noticed that since this project started, we have hardly had any dry season. And had we had dry weather, we would have been further along with this project. I am happy to be living in these times because it's a historic moment. I would not have another occasion to see the groundbreaking of a terminal in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I'm asking the good Lord to spare my lives to see the completion of this project under this administration, so that persons overseas can have easy access to St. Vincent. The farmers can have their produce going out in larger number and faster and in quicker time. And I am also looking forward, like Ceci, to be on one of those early flights coming in or going out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines when we start landing plane here. Now you are hearing persons talking about the completion of the airport. I am talking about the operation of this airport, because I have been around now for over half a century, and I have seen a number of airports that have been there before my time. Work is still going on, so it seems like airport work never conclude. And any airport, JFK right now, Barbados still doing the construction, Trinidad just complete and still has some work to do on theirs. So airport projects are never completed, because as you develop, as you progress, you make some changes here and there. So I'm looking for the operation of this airport and not the completion, because the main thing you want to have for an airport to operate: the airstrip, the control tower, and part of the terminal building for arrival and, arrival, departure, and immigration. And the other things like the shops and all those things could come afterwards. So once you have the main component that are essential for the operation of an airport, you're sailing, and this project is going on fast, as I said, and we hope that the weather would be good with us for the next 2 or 3 years while we do construction work. So I'm elated to be a part of history here in Argyle.
I'm looking at it for trade, export and import by air. That's my main problem with it. Everybody talking about how much passengers would come and the plane would come here, because that is not what I am looking at. Airport is not for passengers only. It's trade. It's good for disaster. Suppose we have a big disaster now where these American big army jet that brings in relief. That's what we need. You can't. If you have a major disaster, don't look for Annisville to see an aircraft landing there with any big set of stuff. You'll just be wasting time. It will come, but they may have to transship it from somewhere else to there, when they could get all in one bulk here at the same time. That's how I'm looking at it.
What about you, sir?
I think that should have done reached long time. Watch, I do 12 seasons out in America, and just I just telling my friend, when I reach in 2 o'clock, and I never leave there until the other day. So I'm glad if we have a jet right now and landing there, but praise God, we could see it coming. Thank you. Love.
Well, I feel real good about the airport, and I hope things will work out for us, you know what I mean? I hope one day we'll get to fly in it. I don't know if me children and my grandchildren might fly on it. So I hope one day things will be good. You understand?
So you've come to see the progression of the airport, but you're also making a little dollar here today?
Yes.
What are you doing here?
I barbecue pigtail and pig ribs and barbecue chicken.
Okay, so where are you coming from?
All the way up Georgetown, supporting my comrade.
Okay. So how do you feel about the project itself?
Pleasant, good. I like it. I love it.
This is a moment that we have waited for, another phase in the unfolding of the construction of our international airport here at Argyle. And all our thanks and gratitude go out to the government and people of the Republic of China and Taiwan for funding this terminal building here. I guess when we see the events of the past week in Grenada and what is our situation for access, direct access to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's beginning to come home more and more every day to Vincentians about the necessity for that access, not just for the freedom of movement of our people, but also for the importation, export, particularly in the agricultural sector, and what is required for the continuance of the upgrading and growth of the tourism sector, which is the engine for economic growth and development in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank God I'm alive to see this day, and I'm waiting to see the sod turn, and I know what this is going to mean, because we have about 28 months for the construction of the building, and I know that there are some Vincentians who are faint of heart, but they must see, when they see the structure going up before their eyes, just as they were faint of heart when we were building the National Public Library. And now we have that library right before our eyes, also with support from the government and people of Taiwan. Similarly, here we'll have before us, here at Argyle, our multi-terminal building for our airport. Thank God this day has arrived.
I see you're enjoying a view from this side. What are you looking at?
Looking at the site, yeah, it's developing good enough to people to recognize what it's all about. Yeah, and I hope that when the airport come into play, that everyone will feel happy. Yeah.
So how do you feel that we're moving on? Another phase of the project is about to commence.
I feel happy. I'm a happy Vincentian, but I'm trying to how down here used to be, how it used to look, and just so I'm looking forward for the airport.
This is the labor-intensive phase 2. Previously, the earthworks and so was more heavy equipment, but now you will see hundreds of persons being employed. And later in the year, when we start with the crushing plant to crush stone to lay on the runway, that is going to actually be another important step. So step by step, we are achieving that dream. And behind the scenes, we are making sure that from an investment point of view, that the world is taking note, and that they essentially will start looking at St. Vincent and the Grenadines from the standpoint of its investment climate, not only in terms of air access, but also in terms of telecommunications, ICT, and all the other issues that we're putting in place.
I am very much excited in having an airport in St. Vincent. I am a very frequent traveler, and I always get hassle in Barbados. So I am one of those persons who are very, very happy to see an airport in Arnos International Airport at Argyle.
Well, I think this is a very significant development that is taking place here. St. Vincent and the Grenadines deserves this international airport. And I'm very pleased that progress is slowly being made. In fact, when I came here earlier and looked at the amount of work that has been done already, I was definitely surprised. And the groundbreaking ceremony for the terminal building is yet another very positive step in getting St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the point where it can be much more competitive in terms of the development, not only of tourism, but all aspects of its life.
Do you think that we will get there?
Of course, there's no question about that. I have full confidence in your comrade leader, in the people, his government, and in this country. It shall be done.
Thank you very much. That this moment has arrived.
Oh, joyous, elated. It's a long journey, but I have faith in God. I have patience. And it took Solomon 7 years to build the temple, to put the ark of God. It's taken us 5 to build this one. And as I would explain today, nobody leave me one nail. Nobody leave me no plan. But David left 3,450 metric tons of gold for Solomon. 34,500 metric tons of silver to build the temple. For 17 years, they may leave me a nail. They don't leave me a plan. Huh? They don't leave me no cedar of Lebanon, no pine, no algum. You hear me?
But you're getting it done.
I'm getting it done. All right.
Reporting for the API, I am Shanna Daniel.
It's a natural disaster. Houses are down, trees uprooted, electricity out, food and clean water in short supply. This situation is not unthinkable. Remember Haiti? Had it not been for the international airport, the situation would have been much worse. Now, imagine St. Vincent and the Grenadines in a similar situation.
In the interest of national security, support the Argyle International Airport.
You're viewing a presentation from the Agency for Public Information. Since it was announced, Vincentians welcomed the news of the construction of an international airport for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They celebrated the commencement of earthworks in August 2008, and again, a large number of Vincentians gathered at the international airport site at Argyle to witness the project advance to yet another stage. Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonsalves was joined by Chairman of CARICOM, Dr. Denzil Douglas, Taiwanese Ambassador His Excellency Weber Shu, other dignitaries and well-wishers as he turned the sod to signal construction of the terminal building. Kesha Woodley was there and she tells us more in the following report.
Everybody's singing a happy song, 'cause the airport coming, now we can't go wrong. We must say thanks to the government for this great achievement. My friends, most importantly, it's sure to be a reality. So we must be proud, let us sing it loud. We have to support the international airport. It will bring us benefits and plenty of business. It will bring us happiness.
The Argyle International Airport project is described as the most costly capital project ever in the history of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with an estimated price tag of roughly EC $650 million. This figure is just under 1/3 of the gross domestic product of the country. August 13, 2011 will be 3 years since the commencement of earthworks on the site of the Argyle International Airport. To date, Works are progressing with the construction of the terminal building scheduled to begin on August 12, 2011. It was for this reason that the government invited Vincentians and friends to be a part of the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the terminal building at the Argyle International Airport site. The ceremony was held at Argyle on Sunday, 7th August 2011. It is little wonder then that the groundbreaking for the commencement of the construction of the terminal building was highly anticipated amongst Vincentians at home and in the diaspora. It is no wonder then that Vincentians, young and old, came out in their numbers to witness the turning of the sod for the terminal building. The celebrations were not only for Vincentians, as regional counterparts and friends from Taiwan made their presence felt and expressed solidarity with Vincentians at the historic groundbreaking ceremony for the terminal building at the Argyle International Airport. Today is another historic day in our country. It marks another significant milestone for the International Airport project. This was said by the CEO of the IADC, Dr. Rudy Matthias. He also said that the airport project has come this far because of the tremendous help received by many friendly countries and neighbors.
They are the Republic of China on Taiwan. Cuba, Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago, Iran, Libya, Mexico, Austria, and recently an organization called the CARICOM Development Fund. So we visited airports in Cuba, in Bahamas, in Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Brazil, Mexico, Madeira, Portugal, and Atlanta, Georgia. After these visits, our planning committee was able to prepare what we call a design brief. Now, what is this design brief? It is a document that essentially tells an architectural firm or a consulting firm what we would like to have at Argyle. So we prepared a brief that gives them guidance as to what we want them to design for us at Argyle. The facilities that we asked them to design for us are the passenger terminal building, the groundbreaking of which we've just witnessed, a cargo terminal building, and we are going to be having a separate terminal building for cargo that is going to be located just on the other side of that red roof house. We're going to have a new control tower, of course, and if you look with me, it is going to be perched on top of that hill near to that house with the green roof. We are going to have a firefighting and rescue station that will have direct access to the runway and would be placed somewhere in that location just to the north of the terminal building. We will have an electrical substation building. We will have a building for the maintenance and parking of the airport equipment. We will have our own water storage system. We will have our own solid waste incinerator. And we will have our own sewage disposal system. All of these are going to be built within the next 2 years.
According to Dr. Matthias, plans are already in place for the construction of a modern city at Arnoldsville upon completion of the Argyle International Airport.
When you see what we are accomplishing at Argyle, I suspect you might begin to think that converting Arnoldsville into a new city is a piece of cake. Perhaps it is. With God's help, we will accomplish all of these once we believe. And I am a believer. I have always believed that we could accomplish big things. I live by inspirational words. And I love the inspirational words of R. Kelly. He says, if I can see it, then I can do it. He says, I must just believe, and then there is nothing to it. And that's why I have always believed. I have always believed that we could fly. We could fly. Good night. Thank you very much.
I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can.
Let's hear it for Dr. Rudy Matthias.
The Republic of China on Taiwan is one of the friendly countries referred to by Dr. Matthias. To this end, Taiwanese ambassador to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, His Excellency Weber Shaw, said that it was an honor to be part of this historic occasion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are people of island countries. Without an international airport, people could not cross the border and go far. Without an international airport, returning home is always an expected but painful journey. Without an international airport, tourism industry could never prosper. Today, the Honorable Prime Minister Denzil Douglas is the most suitable guest of honor to tell us the importance of an international airport to the national development and tell us how it has already made his country different. Dear friends, 2011 is a year for big celebrations. In the year of Jubilee, we are celebrating the centennial of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and marking the 30th anniversary of diplomatic relations between our two peace-loving countries. Over the 30 years, our cooperation has been bearing juicy fruit in a wide range of projects. The Ruabaka Bridge, the National Public Library, and the Learning Resources Centers in different regions, just to name a few. All projects are important to the development and will continue to benefit many, many generations to come.
CARICOM Chairman and Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honorable Denzil Douglas, brought congratulatory remarks from members of various OECS territories and also on behalf of his colleagues in CARICOM. He stressed that the construction of the Argyle International Airport can only bring enormous benefits to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and improve their quality of life.
I want to commend him and his people because your perseverance will definitely ensure that this significant piece of infrastructure that you are constructing here will not only assist in the sustainable development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but will also contribute to the economic development generally of the economic union of the OECS and the CARICOM single market and economy of our entire Caribbean region. And so, on behalf of CARICOM, I want to again commend the planners, the project implementers, for taking the decision to start this phase of this project at this particular time. Why do I say that? You're aware that the entire world has been engulfed in what we call an economic recession, economic and financial recession. Over the last week we saw, as everyone around the world saw, the economic situation is affecting the United States of America in a very significant way. And it will also affect us here in the region, your country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not escaping. But the fact that you've decided within a week
to start construction here, beginning to pump millions of dollars in your economy, employing thousands, if not hundreds of people. I believe that this is going to be an economic stimulus that St. Vincent and the Grenadines need at this particular time. And for that, I commend you for the decision to start this phase of development at this particular time. I believe to a large extent that it can only bring enormous benefits for the people of this wonderful country. And it is for that reason that I am sure that even though this project is not yet completed, it will continue to have an improvement on the quality of life of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I believe in the people of this country. And so, friends and proud countrymen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and comrades, we are here with you. You can depend upon me to be here with you, through thick and thin, to difficult times and good times. And I want you to know that with God giving me the blessing that I am requiring today, I shall return to this spot to make sure I am part of the ceremony to open the Argyle International Airport of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. God bless you. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
On the then eve of his 65th birthday, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Ralph E. Gonsalves was in high spirits as he delivered the keynote address at the groundbreaking ceremony of the terminal building. Indeed, one cannot overemphasize the role of Dr. Gonsalves in fueling the dreams of an international airport for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. According to Taiwan's ambassador, His Excellency Weber Shaw, the Argyle International Airport is a priority project initiated by Dr. Gonsalves.
The second component, I deal with the lands which we're purchasing and how we financing that. I come now to the earthworks and the site works. The grant commitments, largely in kind, from Cuba and Venezuela, amounts to about $112 million. 102 million for the earthworks, US dollars, and $10 million for the designs and the preliminary studies. The designs and preliminary studies which Cuba did and Venezuela helped with some preliminary studies cost $10 million US dollars. In December 2007, when I went to Cuba, I asked Sir Vincent and Jeffrey Cato and Rudy to go up before me to collect the designs. One copy of the designs. Jeffrey Cato, the engineer here, put it in a big suitcase. I tell Jeffrey, I say, if you lose this between Cuba and St. Vincent, don't come back home. You hear me? You came home safe. Fidel and Raul say, comrade, that is free. Free. You hear me? Free. Rudy Matthias has outlined to you all the monies which we have gotten from the various countries. I wouldn't go over back that. You may recall that the earthworks component of the project is valued at 279 Eastern Caribbean dollars. 279 million Eastern Caribbean dollars. Well, 2/3 of that work is complete. It means that the value which is completed thus far is 180 million, which is 2/3 of 279 million. But what did we spend? To create value of 180 million, IADC only spent 28 million because of the amount of in-kind assistance which we have received.
Prime Minister Gonsalves spoke on a range of issues pertaining to the overall construction on the Argyle International Airport.
We borrowed $40 million from the NIS, but we gave the NIS a mortgage on some of these lands, so the NIS is not without security. So they have, your money in the NIS is not jeopardized because they have security. That is how we're doing it. And when we needed some additional money, I get $27 million from Petrocarib. I have to pay them back. I give them back $2 million already from the IADC. You see how all the policies of the government work it? The grant commitments, largely in kind, from Cuba and Venezuela, amounts to about $112 million. $102 million for the earthworks, US dollars, and $10 million for the designs and the preliminary studies. The designs and preliminary studies which Cuba did and Venezuela helped with some preliminary studies cost $10 million US dollars. You may recall that the earthworks component of the project is valued at 279 Eastern Caribbean dollars. 279 million Eastern Caribbean dollars. Well, 2/3 of that work is complete. It means that the value which is completed thus far is 180 million, which is 2/3 of 279 million. But what did we spend? To create value of 180 million, IADC only spent 28 million because of the amount of in-kind assistance which we have received.
The API will focus principally on details of the terminal building and other landside facilities.
The passenger terminal building with the ground floor, the first floor and the third floor, what is called the mezzanine, that will cost $22.7 million US to build. The electrical substation would cost $2.2 million. The signage, internal and external, $367,277. And there are certain preliminaries of $1.18 million. All of those, the terminal building, the substation, the signage, and the preliminaries will be done by OECC, amounting to $26.5 million US dollars, or $71 million Eastern Caribbean approximately. Then additionally, we have to do a cargo terminal building which is going to cost $2.7 million US. A fire and rescue station, $1 million US. The control tower, almost $1 million. And the site works, road, drainage and parking, $9.5 million US. The site works, roads, drainage and parking will be done in-house by the IADC. The cargo terminal building, fire rescue station and control tower, we will do the necessary arrangements for the tendering for other people to build those.
The tender process for the landside facilities of the Argyle International Airport failed, thus causing some delay in the contract procurement. Therefore, in November of 2010, the Board of Directors granted the contract to construct the terminal building to the Taiwanese firm Overseas Engineering and Construction Company Limited, the OECC.
Now, OECC will build this over 28 months. Over 28 months they will build it. And Peter Chen has told me that they're starting Friday, that is the 12th. They're starting the 12th on this project. 1 week's time. So we're going to see some more work and some more money circulating, because as we get going properly, a lot of the truckmen will get work and a number of laborers, skilled men, masons, carpenters and the like.
According to Prime Minister Gonzalez, the government of Taiwan has pledged US $30 million or EC $81.5 million for the design and supervision and construction of a terminal building and other landside facilities for the project.
The government of Taiwan has pledged $30 million US or $81.5 million for the design and supervision and construction of this. On the 7th of January 2008, the IADC drew down $2.5 million to prepare the area for the terminal building. The 10 million EC dollars plus, or $3.9 million going to the CECI engineering consultants coming from that. So we have already taken out 5.8 out of the 30 million. So we are left with 24.2 million US. And their contract is 26.5. So we have to put the balance, the difference between 26.5 and the 24.2. Except this. President Ma signed a memorandum and said to us that if the cost goes up, we are prepared to grant you some other monies or to give you a soft loan. And the Taiwanese have never broken their word to us, and I don't expect that to work.
In addition to the works currently in progress at the site of the Argyle International Airport, the following will take place in 2011. Commencement of the construction of the culvert for the Yambo River, work on the sea defenses at the northeastern end of the runway, the installation of a stone crushing plant to prepare material for the pavement works, and the construction of the terminal building scheduled for August 12. Reporting for the Agency for Public Information, I am Keisha Woodley.
And that's how we end this evening's presentation from the Agency for Public Information. I hope you found it to be very informative. Remember, you can join us every Tuesday and Thursday from 8 p.m. on SVG Television for the API's presentation. Until next time, I'm Shanna Daniel on behalf of the entire production team saying good night and God bless.